That same night, the DA's office rushed to press charges, citing the partial print and a hair sample that allegedly matched him. By morning, Steve found himself sitting in an interrogation room, his colleagues now staring at him with suspicion. He insisted there had to be a mistake, a setup. Captain Mills shook her head, visibly troubled. "We have to follow the chain of command," she said. "If the forensic lab says it's your print, we can't ignore that." Steve felt panic clawing at his chest. Had he upset someone powerful? Was someone forging evidence against him? He demanded the right to investigate his own case, but policy forbade it. Cuffs clicked around his wrists, an avalanche of horror burying him as uniformed colleagues led him away like a common criminal. In that surreal blur, he glimpsed Lisa's face. She had rushed to the station, tears streaming down her cheeks, calling out, "Dad, what's happening?" He tried to comfort her, arms restricted by cuffs, heart twisting painfully. "It's going to be okay, sweetie," he promised. "We'll figure this out." As the officers pulled him away, that became the last normal moment he would have. Within days, the trial roared forward. The station boasted its slam-dunk case, a policeman turned killer. Evidence was paraded in front of a wide-eyed jury. The fingerprint, the hair sample, phone records placing him near Sinclair's apartment at the time of death. People called it an open and shut case, ignoring his protests and pleas for answers. Through it all, Steve's mind reeled. The phone logs must have been altered. The partial print could easily have been manipulated if someone had access to something with his prints on it. But who would do this? And why? Sitting in the courtroom, he caught glimpses of the DA smirking, the lead detective painting him as a disgruntled officer rumored to have argued with Sinclair about corruption allegations. The jury looked at him with disdain. He wanted to stand up, shout that this was a travesty, but protocol silenced him. His defense attorney, a public defender juggling too many cases, struggled to counter the barrage of evidence. At the back of the courtroom, Lisa sat with her mother, her face streaked with silent tears. After an agonizingly short proceeding, the verdict was read. Guilty of first-degree murder. The judge wasted no time slamming down the gavel. Life imprisonment. No parole for 25 years. Gasps echoed through the room, but Steve felt nothing. Numbness consumed him. What happens next? Could Steve uncover the truth from behind bars? Or would the real killer remain free, hidden in plain sight? Stay tuned for the next chapter of this thrilling saga. Ask, Explain. When a man is taken into custody for a shocking murder, the arresting officer initially dismisses it as an open and shut case. But one chilling detail changes everything, plunging the entire station into chaos and igniting a desperate race to prove his innocence. Before we dive deeper into this gripping tale, let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you believe in the power of justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this. Steve Callahan had always been known for his calm demeanor and methodical approach to every case he worked on. For over a decade, he'd served as a detective in the Redbridge City Police Department, following a straightforward moral code. Chase the truth, protect the innocent, never compromise your integrity. Despite the daily grind of battling criminals and drowning in paperwork, Steve was the kind of officer who took time to talk kindly to witnesses, double-checked facts so no one got dragged into an interrogation without cause, and believed in the job wholeheartedly, even when it eroded his personal life and eventually led to divorce. His ex-wife had found the demands of police work too daunting, especially when their daughter Lisa was little and often missed her dad. At 41 years old, Steve carried more lines on his face than he should have. Lines that told the story of stress, heartbreak, and the quiet sorrow of losing daily contact with his daughter. On the rare weekends he had with her, he would forget about the phone buzzing with new leads or the mountains of forms waiting on his desk. Lisa, now 11 going on 12, was bright and curious, with a sarcastic wit that made him chuckle. They spent their limited time fishing, biking, or watching old war films together. Lisa delighted in pointing out the obvious suspects while Steve teased her budding detective instincts. The Monday after these weekends always felt heavier, as though he left half his heart behind. One drizzly evening, news hit the station that a prominent city official had been found murdered. The victim was Robert Sinclair, a councilman rumored to be investigating city corruption. Two uniformed officers discovered him strangled in his upscale downtown apartment.